What it do, Bean Crew? It's your boy Savon Thomas back with another episode of Coffee and Comments. Today we're going to review the movie The Harder They Fall.
I know who you are. The angel who hunts down those who trespass against him with no mercy.
Admit it. I'm lighting with the blam blams.
Welcome back, Bean Crew. Again, this is a review of the movie The Harder They Fall, and this movie was phenomenal. I'm not big into westerns, at least I think I'm not. I probably need to watch a few more. My grandpa used to always watch westerns. Literally, every Sunday after church, it would probably be like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like clockwork. He put on a western, and like clockwork, he would fall asleep. Every single time, I always knew he had his chair, he'd sit there, Western and Beyond. I occasionally watched them. I have an affinity for like horses and like just the country, man. I enjoy it. Like I like being out there. And so like watching this movie, I saw it. I saw the cast, and I'm gonna get to the cast because this cast is star-studded. But I was like, this is a Western film. This is gonna be interesting. I didn't realize this was a black Western film. I was like, that made it even better, right? Like I love, black movies. Like I'm a black guy. I want more black representation within Hollywood. I don't always want it to be like you have to fit in this character in there. Like make a movie like this. Like I loved how they did this movie. And I'll get to a little bit of that towards the end of my review. But like I loved this movie overall. Like it was phenomenal, not just because it was a whole bunch of black people, but because the movie was just so freaking well done, in my opinion. This is one of the rare times I disagree with IMDb on the score and agree with Rotten Tomatoes. Like I absolutely do not like Rotten Tomatoes. You guys know that. And I agree with them on their score. Even the audience score gave it a very high score. But this movie, The Harder They Fall, again, this cast is star-studded. Jonathan Majors is the lead actor in this movie. This movie came out in 2021, so he wasn't as big of a name as he is today. Like he's always, today is like Jonathan Majors is in freaking everything. He's obviously in the Marvel movies. He's been in, obviously Loki TV show. So that's where I got to know him was from that. So seeing him in this movie, I was like, okay, it's Jonathan Majors. Like I didn't watch the movie previously, so now that I've seen him and then go back and watch this movie, I'm like, okay, I know who that guy is. But then you also have freaking Idris Elba, who's like the antagonist, the evil person in this film. You have Zazie Beetz, which she's been in a few different movies that I've been watching. Bullet Train being one of them. What she does, her part in that is kind of short, but still, she's in the movie. You have one of my favorite actresses ever in Regina, which she plays like the second hand to Idris Elba's character, being the evil woman basically. And then you have LaKeith Stanfield as well, which he's famous for ATL, but then he's been in a couple different movies as well. Up and coming actor, but very famous guy. Delroy Lindo's in this as well. He's kind of an older actor, but been fantastic for years. Damon Wayans Jr. is in there as well. My guy Eddie, I forget how he pronounces his last name. It starts with a G. I was called Eddie G, but he's from the show Startup. And so when I saw him, I was like, bro, that's my dude from the show Startup. So there's a lot of great actors in this. I'm not gonna get to every single one. There's a lot of great actors. Some people that were newer and they did a great job that I've never heard before. They did a great job in this film. It's just again, this movie was so well done. So for those that haven't seen it, it's a western, right? You have this character that grew up chasing this guy that basically killed his whole family. As a kid, he killed his family and left a scar on the little boy. Little boy grows up to be Jonathan Majors' character. The person that killed the family ends up being Idris Elba's character as well. And they both are, they run different gangs. In his life, his Jonathan Majors' character's entire life, he steals from people as well, but I guess also to get back on the people that murder his family. And so it's just, you see this entire journey of like the different gangs, Idris Elba's character getting free, and then like them, Jonathan Majors trying to figure out how to basically get his revenge. Like he's been thinking about his revenge for a long, long time. And so everything in this movie is just so well done. The acting's phenomenal. Right, the camera work is amazing. Like it's kind of an interesting mix. Like this director, I'm not familiar with them and their work. I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna follow them more because they did a phenomenal job with like the camera work It was similar to like a Tarantino Cameron. That's why I say Django vibes. And that's probably why I liked it, because I love Tarantino and I love Django. But Jeymes Samuels, I think I say his name, Jeymes Samuels, I think goes by The Bullets or something like that as well. But the director of this film does just a fantastic job of like how he portrays the storyline, how he shows off like violence, the action scenes as well, where they're like shooting people and going back and forth. It just the script is so well done. The story carries. You're always engaged. You're literally from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. It's enticing. You don't want to break your attention because you might miss something. In fact, I'm the worst when it comes to movies because I'll do it on my phone. But I found myself like rewinding because I was like, oh no, I missed the part. Like I don't want to miss anything. Like I didn't want to miss a single thing from this movie. It's literally one of the best Netflix movies I've seen in a while. One of the best movies I've watched, period, in a long time. But literally the best Netflix movie I've ever seen. Like it hands down was like, I was very, very surprised this was made by Netflix. I was like, this is a Netflix movie. I am pleasantly surprised. But fantastic. Again, I like the fact that it is an all-black cast. It is a movie that is just a movie, and it stars black people as a cast. Like, it doesn't need to be like, oh, it's this great story of like black people overcoming. It's just like, literally, it's just a movie with black people existing and having fun. Not having fun. I mean, they're gangs, stuff like that. But it's like, and you have the white element in it as well. Like, it's like, okay, this part of town is like black people, this part of town is black people, because obviously there's segregation in 1800s. But there's not many Western stories that involve black people, honestly. And that's one of the reasons why I loved it as well. Like, again, there's a lot of elements to this movie because of the race aspect that I really enjoyed, because it's a black story, Western story that's you don't really see too many about black people, and it just does a great job. And it's not like it's overtly black. Like, it's like, they use all this different slang and all this other stuff. It's just a movie, and it's fantastically done, and it just stars black people. And that's what I want Hollywood to be, versus like, oh, let me insert this character here, or let me change up this character here. I have no problem with that either, but I like this style, if that makes sense. This director does a great job of doing that. Story's fantastic as well. I gave this movie a 9.2 out of 10. Very high rating. I loved it. I will rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it probably. But 9.2 coffee beans out of 10 for the movie The Harder They Fall. Thanks for tuning in to the episode of Coffee and Comments.